Okay, so we have opening range gap repricing macro here. Okay, I don't feel like going long on this fair value gap. Huh? Oh. Okay, so what I'm saying now is, do we reach for this VI, which we did, keep this low safe and spike higher? Okay, but so far, this right here is the opening range gap CE, and now is the 9:50 AM macro timing. Okay, is this a stop rate or do we continue moving lower? If we start rejecting higher, then I'm seeing for high price, but if not, we can go lower. Okay? Why? Because we have a sell side rated here. Damn, the internet is so fucking slow. Okay, gun in my head, I am preferring to see higher price today. Very light, okay, but I'm going long. Stop loss right here. Oh, 那个女孩子不在，来个女孩子。Okay, like I said, I'm looking for higher price. Why? Because we have sell size rated here. Okay, and we are really close to the opening range gaps CE, and you can see we did not touch it right here. So it was an either now or no condition. Stop. What are you doing? Wow, those guys. Okay, stop out by that manipulation. Okay, that was a very big manipulation there. Look at that. Okay, now the CPI price and opening range gap 25%. The opening range gap 25%, 23728. I'm looking at it and it's currently holding price. But I want to see price get above the opening range gap CE before I go long. Okay, so initially I was saying I want to see price get above opening range gap CE, which is 23740 before I go long. But the 25% was already price, and with the long weeks I am seeing for expansion at this point. Okay, the reason is because you can see we are at that opening range gap CE, and now you can see we move above it. So now I see the price close above it, and indeed it close above it, and it take out a short-term high as well. Okay, so at this point it's 10 AM and it's silver bullet timing also. So I'm seeing for higher price. Okay, so right here I'm waiting for a BC to form, and if it forms, I'm going to treat it as a breakaway gap and expect it to send price higher. Okay, now we are close to the 12 AM opening price of Monday. So right here I'm just saying that okay, this BC, if whether it forms and leave it empty. Okay, so I'm putting a limit order right here. Okay, my stop loss is right below that balance price. Okay, because we have a lot of consolidation to the left already, so I'm trusting and trading this BC as an inversion value gap. Okay, but with hindsight, okay, it did not turn out to be an inversion value gap. It closed in that BC. It's not a big deal. It just means to me that we are not that bullish. Okay, so it doesn't change the fact that I'm still seeing for higher price. Okay, at this point, I like to go to high time frame charts and check for context. Okay, but you can see we are manually around here. But now I'm seeing this low stay intact and form an intermittent low. But again, with hindsight, it did not. Okay. Yep. Okay, at this point, you see that we closed in that BC. It already, that just invalidates the, I don't know whether it validates is a word or not. That means it just disqualifies it as a breakaway gap. Okay, yeah. But I'm seeing there's several stop rates has been done. Expansion needs to take place now. Okay, just look at how jigger jagged. Okay, but you can see I did throw my stop a bit too tight here and was stopped out. But yeah, it is what it is. I did reduce the risk. Okay, so that is manipulation. You just look at it like that. That kind of movement is definitely not what you want to trade in. Okay, but not say it's not tradable, but it means that you are going to be wrong more than usual. Okay, but it's about submitting to your logic, like what I said. Stop rate has been done here. Okay, so now at this point, after price move up here, I want to see it start expanding higher. I don't want to see it start returning back to the range. If it does, I want this consolidation to hold price. I'm trying to pull up the yeah, I'm trying to pull up the ES chart. But never mind, we just go through ES and see how ES is going. Okay, ES is definitely lacking behind, but it's pushing higher also. Okay, so at this point, sell side rated, I'm repeating here, okay? Then you can see this buy side rated. So now if it's going to be a market structure shift, I don't want to see sell side get rated anymore. Which means I want to see price being held by the consolidation here. Which means I want to see the consolidation X as order block, okay? Yeah, that's it. Okay, now we got a small gap right here. Does this gap hold price? Okay, so at this point I feel safe to move my stop loss. Well, I don't have to move it, but yeah, just let it run. Okay, so now I'm going to bring a high time frame because I have all this in my mind. Okay, I've been looking at it, but you can see right here, this is the daily wicks CE. Okay, so I'm going to put the daily chart out. Okay, you can pretty much see the daily wicks CE which we touched it, but the fact that price is doing this kind of thing, right, I'm really holding for price to be bullish. So I'm going to take like at the halfway point of the AM slash of the wicks. Okay, but first price has to really ramp up. Okay, if price were to move higher, and I'm subscribing to that point of view. Okay. Okay, rejecting off the new week opening gap, which is understandable and possible. Okay, because you can see rate stop rates. But you can see buy side rate, as I said, if it's going to be a market structure shift, I want to see price hold. I want to see consolidation here, hold price. Okay, so yeah, and why am I seeing high price? Because I just feel like they're going higher. Feeling no. Okay, so the whole logic is this. I'm going to pull out 5-minute chart. You can see how, okay, I did have entered an earlier entry, and if I know through my stocks, it would have been running profits, but it's what it is. Okay, you can see this kind of condition is called high resistance, and generally you don't want to trade in them. Okay, so why am I going long? First, you can see this, the pre-market low is rated, then 9:30 sharp drop lower right here, and then we started pushing higher slowly. Okay, what had my conviction of going higher is more on this point. It's more on the opening range gap. Okay, the opening range gap, midpoint 23,740. Okay, 23,740. This is the opening range gap. And we went above it. Initially, we got real close to it. Okay. So right here, initially we got real close to it. Then we move lower, take out sell side. But then we started pumping back higher, okay, and takes out this high. Which is why I was seeing for higher price already. And then what we did, we went all the way below. You can see this kind of wicks only. And I was saying what? I was saying if this wicks hold price, then I'm seeing for higher price. And it did help price. Then we got back above 23740, which is the opening range gap CE. Okay. And now we are above it. That's why I'm holding to a higher price. Okay. So that's the whole logic. But it's in a very ugly fashion. And this is the time you don't want to trade like one. Okay, but yep, we are going to see through it and see how it goes. Okay, when it's high resistance, what I like to do is I like to go to the higher time frame and just trade based on the higher time frame. For example, a 5-minute chart. Okay, so on 5-minute chart, it makes perfect sense to me that we are going higher. And now if I'm seeing these wicks, okay, you can see just eyeballing it, we reach for the midpoint of it. Okay, and my stop loss is in a very good place, so no need to move my stop loss and trading based on this 5-minute chart. Okay, now we are really close to the daily wick CE. Okay, so just now lost $20. Okay, at this point can we pump up higher? Since price already retraced down to this big CE, now I want to see can this 5-minute candle pump up higher? Not forgetting the opening range gap. Right here is the opening range gap high, opening range gap CE. And why am I looking for higher price? Is because, well, I'm just repeating myself, but now we're going to pull in the whole daily range, okay? So you can see how Monday high is breaking now, but we have another high here. Okay, so now at this point is now whenever, and we are really close to that high. Okay, which is why I'm seeing for higher price. I mean close to the high on the daily chart, okay? So either we pump up higher or we move lower. If you're going to move lower, I can just reverse also. But I'm really not seeing for low price. You look at the bodies, okay? So yeah, it's about submitting to the high time frame. Silver bullet timing, it will move higher. It can move higher. Okay, so far we are being held by the consolidation here. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the low time frame. But like I say, I don't like to watch the low time frame. We need context. Okay. What I was saying on this 5-minute candle, I want can we move higher, or are we going to be held in the range? If you're going to be held in the range, then I'm expecting the next candle to move higher. Okay. Either way, 10:50 AM macro, 10:50 AM, I want to see something that supports my trade idea. Okay. It needs to continue support of this old high. Okay. So far we are seeing that we are supporting off the old high, but I'm also allowing price to reach for this all the way out. Now it's getting really choppy. It's gonna... Okay, stop out gladly. Look at how ugly is AM. So ugly, so ugly. Well, I could have taken my profits. Where? When price reached that new big opening gap and I was in that trade. But it is what it is. That's why always pay the trader when you can. Okay, especially when it already offered around 20 handles. It was already a very good trade. Like first off, I went long where? First off, I went long right here, around here, okay, and then I was expecting price to reach up here, but I got stopped out on this manipulation. Okay, definitely opening range gap C could be a nice target. 23,720 to 23,740, that is a 20 handle run. Did you pay your trader? Okay, then second trade, that's why 20 handles is just static movement. Going long on this BC, 23,750. Okay, you can take profit at here, 14 handles often. Again, did you take your profit? Well, that's why paying the trader is always that important. It's not about being right, okay? It's about earning money. And just look how ugly is AM session. Very effing ugly. Okay, so you can take note at 23728, which is the opening range gap 25%. It was holding the bodies. And then that manipulation candle, okay, we did not take the low. So price was keeping that low safe. So to me, we are still going higher. And in fact, it did pin out to my targets, but without me inside it. Okay, so this is high resistance run, and this was just a demo trade. Okay, so knowing when to not trade, and then following the rules to not risk real money. Okay, to me that is a very important thing.